on the show, Prime Minister. Thank you for joining us. We have much to discuss in terms of your own actions in your own country, but I saw that you spoke to Prime Minister Modi of India today, and you've been providing support to the nation too. Can you just explain what you've been doing for India to support them at this moment?
Thank you, Julia, and hello to all your viewers. In fact, before I start answering your question, I would take this opportunity to convey warm greetings from His Majesty the King and Her Majesty the Queen from the land of gross national happiness. I'm really surprised how you found Bhutan, because normally we are not found, normally we are not heard, but I'm very happy that you reached out to us. You're right, Julia. I took this opportunity to call Prime Minister Modi, our good neighbor, to express our solidarity with him, and we could only send our warm wishes and sincere prayers for him. Being a small country, small economy, resource constrained, we are not able to offer that much of economic. But as you all know, our good neighbor India is suffering a lot from the pandemic, and they're running out of almost all healthcare facilities. So the only thing we could offer is some liquid oxygen that we could tank and ship it to India. So that's what we could do. But more than anything, as I said, Julia, I'm so happy that I could talk to Prime Minister Modi and send our prayers for all our Indian friends.
We understand. It's clearly a border nation for yourselves. Can I just ask what measures and protections you're taking in order to protect your own citizens?
Of course, now I don't know how much time I have on this, but we started our preparation since February last year, actually, a month after the disease broke out in China. And then we took all measures in place, and then as we were anticipating, we got the first case on the 5th of March last year. And ever since we got the case, we had a very good control, I would say. Immediately, we stopped tourists coming to Bhutan. We blocked all the international borders, both by land and by air. And then we had all the surveillance and testing, primary contact testing in place. And until now, we managed to keep our community safe. And in fact, all these things started from our leadership, His Majesty the King, who, as we talk, is in the south, where we share free borders with India. His Majesty, for last almost 15 months, had spent almost 80% of the time out of the palace, guarding our country physically as well as mentally, morally supporting all the frontline workers. So, of course, being small is our strength, but then all of us being unconditionally united under His Majesty's leadership actually had given us very good protection.
And a 21-day quarantine as well for those entering your country also helped. Talk to me about the vaccine drive, because I think for most people listening, the idea that you managed to vaccinate 93% of your adult population in the space of under 2 weeks is an astonishing feat. How did you achieve that, and what perhaps can other nations learn from how you did this?
Yeah, I mean, of course, to us, we thought it was just a simple plan that we strategized for ourselves. But now, hearing the news from around the world, we are actually happy that many heard us. Actually, it again started from His Majesty's in-depth knowledge about the infection and our King's knowledge about herd immunity. In fact, we all designed in a way the rest of the countries designed to vaccinate our population initially. And the caregivers, the frontline workers, the health staffs would have come first, but with the knowledge of herd immunity, His Majesty was very sure that we could vaccinate almost all 700,000 population that we have in the country. So we designed and rolled it out as on a national campaign mode, where about a month before we vaccinated, we online enrolled all eligible population, and then we designed, of course, on a good day that we roll it out, and in a span of, I would say, not exactly 1 week, but I think 9 days, we managed to vaccinate almost 90% of the eligible population. And then over another 2 or 3 days more, we could cover now almost 95% of eligible population. That is almost 65% of people living in Bhutan. Of course, we vaccinated all living in Bhutan. So our first dose went very well. And of course, I shouldn't forget to thank India for the generous support of giving us a vaccine for free. So good, but we know we don't see the enemy. The infection is becoming more and more infectious. The wave is becoming hotter and hotter. We are really, really cornered with the wave that is sweeping this part of the world.
So you've certainly handled it, and I know you mentioned you're a doctor, and I know you practice at weekends and have been commended for it. You are one busy man, so I'm going to let you get back to it. And you made a point that you're not often heard. I promise you, Bhutan is heard on First Move. Come back and speak to us soon, please, Prime Minister. It was great to have you on the show. The Prime Minister of Bhutan there. Thank you. Okay, the market